Hello guys, today we're here to talk about everything you'll want to know before purchasing Planet Coaster, because there's no trial for this game. So what you want to know before purchasing this game will be included in this video, and if you have any other questions, be sure to ask me in the comments. Alright guys, so first we're going to take a look at the UI. So as you can see, we've got credits, settings, and leave. Quite standard. We also got this play button here, sandbox, career, and challenge. I'll go more in depth with the sandbox. And we go back here, and we have this nice handy dandy resume button, which I find really useful. And we've also got the Steam Workshop where you can look at other people's work. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the loading times. Your loading times will probably be quicker than this because I've already put some things in this park. But let's go ahead and take a look. It's never actually taken this long before, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure why it's working like that. And there we are, so that was way longer than it should have been. That's still shorter than most roller coaster tycoon parks. So, we'll be back in 1 second. Alright guys, so the reason that took so long is because I had my graphics settings on Ultra, which is something I guess we can get into now. So I have an Intel i7 and a pretty decent graphics card, but when you look at my graphics settings, they are all as low as I can get them. Because the amount of detail in this game is amazing. Now that can be a good thing if you have a powerhouse PC, or a bad thing, like it was for me, because my PC is actually really good, but I have to run them all at low just to be able to get a smooth turning, and as you can see, that still has a little bit of frame lag. So the next topic we'll get into is coaster building, but something to consider when you're buying this, is your computer going to be able to run it smoothly? So another thing about this game is if your PC isn't a powerhouse, it'll feel like it's loading slow. Like, I click that now, and you see it took a second for it to spawn in. So let's look in the coaster builder. So as you can see, we place the station, and we're going to get this menu that pops up down here. Again, you can see how slow that popped up. Now over here we've got our utility settings. So that's the chain speed, because this thinks it's a chain. But we've also got all these stops. Dive, drop, holding section, friction drive tires, friction brakes, trim brakes. In the block section, we're just going to start out with a straight track, and as you can see, we're going to get these 4 main options. Now of course this roll is your curve, or your banking. This is going to be your turning, and this is going to be your up and down. Now I do not have angle snapping on. If you played more of a no limit opposed to Roller Coaster Tycoon, you want to turn angle snapping off, because that allows you to be more free. But as you can see, when you've got angle snapping on, it's going to snap to those angles, only the specific angles it wants to. So I always have angle snapping off because it's more free flowing. Now of course we do have the pre-builts, but you can use those, but the only bad thing is that you cannot modify them except to make them bigger or smaller, which is actually very useful, but that's all you can do. And you cannot make this element yourself because it will not allow the track to curve back in, which is unfortunate when I was making this Banshee recreation, because I needed this to come over here, but instead I had to add on a whole extra turn. Otherwise it would have been actually perfect recreation. So that's it for the coaster builder, guys. Now let's take a look into another problem with this game. Okay, so the next problem, of course, is the scenery. As you can see, I literally just threw these in randomly because the peeps in this game are obsessed with scenery. It affects how long they're willing to wait for your ride, and it's not even if you don't have scenery, you will see the difference. Because I don't know why they decided to do this, but scenery is huge in this game. I don't even think if you place a bunch of trees around it, I'm not sure if it'll do anything. But yeah, that's it for scenery, guys. Just know that that is a huge factor. So if you're in this just for coaster building, then you're going to have an issue with scenery. But if you like to design parks to make it as specific as possible, then you'll be fine. Next, let's talk about flat rides. Pretty sure all the flat rides are realistic, except for this one. There might be one of these, but as you can hear, this does play some pretty cool dubstep as it goes along, which is actually pretty cool. We've also got a discus over here, and we can look at the panel of flat rides right here. So as you can see, you can pick an array of these, and all you have to do is place one, is just drag it out and place it. Now, for the customization on these, there's not much. You can't even decide how tall you want the drop tower to be. That's just comes standard. So unfortunately, that's a downfall, but that's it for the ride. So let's look at the coaster camera. Alright guys, now as you can see, we're on the brake run. When you hold down the mouse wheel, you can look left or right. It'll always recenter it for you. You also got this view where you could keep clicking till you get whichever view you like, which is actually a nice feature. Because if you don't want the seat view, you just want the track view, you can just keep clicking to get that. From the seat view, you can, of course, pick your cars, pick your seats, wherever you want on the train. This is really useful. I like how this is set up in this game, although I wish you were more able to free fly and that wouldn't snap back to the center. Now, a couple issues with the sandbox. They still do have that scenery thing and where they want scenery. And you see I've dug the ground and stuff to try to spike their interest. However, the mechanics and the janitors can quit, which is very unfortunate, because we're used to not having to worry about that in the sandbox mode, but they can. And even the vendors can quit. Let me see if I have any closed. As you can see, this vendor's closed because they have quit, which, you know, sucks. It's just going to sit there until I reopen it and find somebody else to work there. But that is the unfortunate tale. So if you're in here to play sandbox, look at all these vendors who have quit. If you're in this for the sandbox, then I don't, of course you should still get this game, but that's just something to be wary of. So now we've got our shops and stalls. Of course, I've just picked the custom ones because they are the smallest, but you can make your own, not your own shops, but build your own buildings around these and make them bigger. But since these are the smallest, I've just only used these. As you can see, there is a worker in there, which you will have to hire, unfortunately. But that is fine because we're in sandbox, but they will quit. So I haven't quite figured out how to get them to not quit yet, but as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know. Also guys, the final thing I'll throw in there is that the roller coaster friction seems to be a little bit off. I'm not sure why that is, but it just is. Like, I don't know if you can see it necessarily in this one, but when I was building, even with Thrill Central, our roller coasters were stopping way too soon. Like, as you can see, we can go from this to these tiny, tiny hills, unfortunately. But that's just how it works in this game. Who knows if they'll make an update for it. But yeah, guys, that has been everything you need to know about Planet Coaster. Main things is make sure your PC specs can run it, and make sure you're really into scenery, because you're going to need it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Be sure to like and comment if you have any other questions about this game.
They caught me, that brand new Benz, the rims on it. Like goddamn Drew, what you spend on it? 5 years of your monthly rent on it. Why the f y'all put that tent on it? Goddamn, that boy right there good. Goddamn, that boy making that killing. Not from the suburbs or from the hood, but people from both sides, they feelin' them trying to flex they muscle. For gon' cause them trouble. You could download Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, can't download my hustle. See a boy gon' do what it want to. Grown man gon' do what it got to. Stand on his 2 feet, that's 24 inches, then get what he's supposed to. Cause life's a catch bus, so go ahead dog, get your. I'm from the city where them thugs bust, and the cops gon' get you that drug bust. Whatever is your hustle, dog, make sure you get your stacks from that. Cause all my real no what? Ain't no app for that. Turn ideas in the buildings. Ain't no app for that. Turn a dollar into millions. Ain't no app for that. From the ground up to the ceiling. Ain't no app for that. Everybody wanna download days, I'ma make an app for that. Best believe I'm feeling myself. Best believe I'ma triple my wealth. Best believe I'ma stack to the top and pop if I don't do nothing else. Best believe we the realest out. Best believe we what people talking about. Best believe you're on the outside looking in or on the inside looking out.